I suppose this is going to be the last vlog for today's date until I get another one done for the second day. January 1st, 2020. Saturday. We're in Tennessee, Rosewood, California. What's going on here? Reflecting on what's going on these days. Feeling a little bit out of it. Not quite sure what to expect down the road. You know, I tried to post up a few reflections out there, and the response back was a bit too negative. Hell of a year to get through. The last few years, a lot worse, and earlier than that, maybe even so. I guess people want hope the most every time they keep looking at videos because they want to see something that's, it gives them something of a, not of a thrill, but basically of hope of what to expect. Instead of always reflecting upon the past, which I have been doing for a long time. And these videos are about my past in relation to my future and how I'm dealing with the past deals with the future. So I guess it depresses those who watch it, thinking, why the hell am I watching this damn thing in the first place? He's not even looking forward. I need to look forward. Well, you look forward. You look forward to what your life is like. You're going to look forward to what you want your life to be like. I'm simply stating what was, and I'm simply stating how I'm dealing with as is. And as for tomorrow, well, tomorrow will take care of itself. I may not be looking forward to it with a lot of anticipation at this point over here. And dealing with a hell of a lot of things happening to me, and the concept of saying that I may have a shortened life because of a damn family curse. Laugh as you will. Some people actually do believe in curses. Now, my brother, when he learned about this one over a decade and a half ago, he really wasn't quite sure what the hell to think about it, especially when he had to talk to people about it, including in the family. Some of the family members who were still around talked about it as well. The women and men who survived. Somehow, the idea of popping through of the family curse of our own Cameron bloodline, the one I'm belonging to anyway, directly, always exhibit things leading up to possible demise, or maybe something happening that we haven't even seen possible, and yet the demise is going to happen. One way or another, the Cameron line was getting nailed left and right. I had uncles and I had cousins, the male line, getting killed off just 60 or after. There was one particular uncle that wasn't in the Cameron line. Only married. And he died in his 70s, 80s. But every one of my uncles that I remember always died well after 60. Maybe at different times, at different eras. If you lived past 35, 40, maybe you were blessed. Or cursed, who knows. Different people talked about it from different times. But they hear about this damn thing. Drove my brother insane. Just before he was reaching his 50th birthday. He was heading over towards a recovery. And all day long, he had been a royal asshole. He had been on total defense. Growled and snapped, even at Monty and a few of his friends. When he was over to the meeting hall, he was snapping at me. I thought he was going to get out, but he stayed inside. So I had to share about it. A friend of his came outside. Now, while I was inside, and I'm wondering how come he hasn't gotten to the meeting just to get the stuff off his chest, because that's normally what we do. He kept telling me to, well, basically, kiss off. Put it politely. Alright, tell me to fuck off. Anyway, one of our dear friends came up, and he was talking to him, trying to calm him down. My brother came inside, and he was still erect, but he sat down with Coke. Rarely does he ever drink coffee. It's the only way he feels like. Me, I drink coffee because I'm an addict to it, a damn thing, like I said. Some things I'll drink tea, and other things I'll drink coffee. He was drinking his Coke, but he was still holding on to it for dear life. He was still hung down looking, and he was still scared as hell. He still wouldn't look at me until there was a point in that meeting that he could raise his hand up and share about it. He did. And he did. And he did. He was getting it all off his chest, and I didn't realize certain elements of it until at the end. I'm thinking, all that because of a supposed curse. Now, we had to talk about it afterwards. Long afterwards. I mean, we had talked about the family curse and what he saw, what he reported, what people had told him. And he was afraid about it because he was born of Cameron, but he was also born of the Shaw line. And maybe the Shaw line was more stronger than the Cameron line, and he'll live longer. Problem was, he didn't. His father, his biological father, was a Shaw line, never hooked up with the Cameron clan. The only Cameron clan he ever hooked up with was my mother, who did have a strong Cameron line with it. Apparently the woman lived longer, a lot longer than the men did. So at this point, he got panicked and had to talk to his father about it. And his father finally told him, said, no, you're Shaw. You're going to be fine. You're going to live a nice long 70s or 80s. Yeah, well, that turned out to be problematic. My brother's birth was in the middle of the year 2018, and things started to shut down on him afterwards. I don't know, I kept trying to tell myself, is this damn thing real, or is this damn thing still a suggestion in a head? My brother, for a long while, tried not to believe in a damn thing. He kept forcing himself into it. But the more I kept thinking about the adults who died afterwards, they died a little after 60, so. My brother's condition may have been popping up here, but whatever he and the doctor had talked about, something happened on him very fast that got him screwed over. Maybe it was the blood sugar. They gave them ischemic attacks that rendered his brain into into a situation where he couldn't function. Stroked him out, basically. I was more worried about his damn heart than I was worried about a stroke. He would never have stopped smoking his cigarettes, and he never did. Or stop on his sodas, except to limit more and more the consumption of it. Drink more and more water, but still, blood sugar thing is still fixated, I guess, for him. So, taking into the account, let's see, about teenage 20s, from one of my uncles who got killed well after. I'm looking at I'm trying to remember one of my favorite uncles who'd been in Korea. And it had to be late teens, early 20s during that time, which meant 1930s. He would have been born, or closer to the 40s. And since the Korean War happened in 49, my uncle, what I'm thinking about, didn't make it into World War II, thank God. But he was old enough to be drafted into the Korean War. The Korean War lasted from 49 to 51. I didn't know if he had any injuries or not, but he went in, he did his tour and got out. So, let's see, about 71 would have been putting him into the 40s, which I would remember him more. Late 70s more, because I would remember some of the sideburns that he had. He had gray hair and some of the sideburns. Some people in their 40s actually do have that. 80s came out. Or it would be 50s during that time. It was the 90s. It was the late 90s that it happened. Yeah. It was in the decade of the 90s. A little after his 60th. He was already having problems with his lungs because of lung cancer. He had surgery, he had cancer treatment for it. And he managed to survive, but with a lot of warnings. Stay the hell away from the cigarettes. Somehow, the treatments had weakened his lungs to where they exploded. Or weakened enough where they couldn't deal with the pressure requests his body was making somehow he lost his ability to breathe, and he died right there. And it had to happen between 91 and 96, somewhere in that area. Because that would put him well beyond the 60 area. That's the only uncle I know that was young enough. Now, there have been others that are old enough. One of them died. He served World War II. And he died in the late 70s, almost early 80s, something. My family had seen him 74 or 75. And he had already been seen. Yeah, he was at the edge for that one, past that. But I didn't know how he died on that. So I'm comparing to some of the uncles that I know of that had passed. One of them had been in the 60s and had been in a bit of depression, and then he popped himself with a shotgun. My brother kind of throws me off, though. My brother threw me off because he had a mixture of Shaw and Cameron. So either he got himself psyched up somehow, subconsciously, to the point where he was going to be dying. And I kept wondering whether or not I'm doing the same damn thing for myself at this point over here. He kept trying not to live that way. He kept trying not to think he was going to be doing it that way. But I don't know. He was having problems with his psych medicines as well, and had to keep going over to the shrink to either change it or get his dosage up. But he had suffered through a hell of a lot of combat stuff, a lot of PTSD that was coming back to haunt him. And then to have the stroke situation happening. Now my situation here, I mean, my brother was ripe with heart conditions and broken bones, and he was just a walking mess. But he was still able to get around barely. Okay, my turn. The only thing that got me crippled a bit, the two major things is concerning about the psycho, about the nervous mental situations I've been having over the past God knows how long, but also the injury that I had over at Walmart, the tire dropping on my damn face, which started the back and the neck, and every so often I feel the after effects of the damn thing. But the thing is, because it was considered nearly like a, I don't know, they were killed me. But they didn't even call me a damn ambulance on these schmucks. Didn't bother. Other because I didn't fall down and crack my head open. I was standing. It hit me. The back and neck just... I felt it. I heard it. And I still feel the pain sometimes. Especially in the morning, during the winter, during the summer. I deal with it. But the thing that deals with me right now is more the sleep cycle shit going on and nervous and mental hell that goes on in there as well. But yeah, I've been at a few near-death experiences that, well, thank you. I'd rather not be in those situations at all. And I've been dead before. So yeah, those things kind of pile up on each other. You know? So I would have those kind of considerations right there. Even though I'm supposed to tough it out like everybody else keeps saying. So. Well, they have been dead. And they haven't came close to death again in a few spots in their lives. Or have they? If they haven't, and they're trying to be like they're Rambo tough. I've been dead before. Well, Rambo never said that. Spock did. He's been dead before. And he came back to life. Lucky him, he comes back to life. So do I. But he was able to deal with the whole life. And looking at it with a different aspect than I had. I know, the more and more you keep talking about the damn thing, the more and more it keeps coming true, right? Is there anything positive I can look into my life? Well, let's see. If I happen to get through school and happen to graduate for my 60th birthday, I'll be lucky. if I happen to not die past the age of 60, that'll be a blessed miracle in itself. I'll be wondering which particular bloodline screwed me over this time. But as for wanting to do something in my life, a few things I still want to do in my life. Minor things and two major things. Let's go on the track cruise. It's not eating the fancy food every single day. No, you wake up and you're still sailing on the water and you're still having the adventure. The people look for the food and the excitements and stuff like that. I look at it this way. I'm not on a ship and I'm sailing somewhere I don't even know where the hell I am. But it's exciting because I don't know where the hell I'm going either. I may have a set course, but yeah, that maybe last me for several months. But, if I had the money for a world cruise, I'd take it. I'd jump on the damn thing. I'd go on there, sail the seas, see stuff I've never seen before. A long time ago, as a kid, I wanted to fly, and I wanted to fly in a space shuttle. Well, when I couldn't be academic, and I couldn't be physical, and I couldn't be in the military, screwed me 3 times that way. I could at least be a supporter on the sidelines. And then she got DQ'd. So now you got the civilian people out there trying to pick up the experience of weightlessness. And wanted to find cheaper ways instead of doing the vomit comment. And they have a special plane for that one. Long ass fuselage, pushing the thing. Plane goes through so many maneuvers that you're actually feeling weightlessness for a few seconds at a time. Not maybe for 2 or 3 or 4 minutes when you're actually in space. That gets to me right there. Space. As much as I like to look at it and just awe at it all. Knowing one thing that it has that I need down here more of, oxygen, and it don't have it. I'd have to exist in a monkey suit. No, I take it back. I have to exist in a can, like Spam meat. So much for exhibiting my enthusiasm for the stars and all the stellar phenomena. I have to settle for the little things in life. Eventually getting a haircut before school. Getting some new clothing and new shoes. I've already got books and material ready to rock and roll. I'm ready for it. Yeah, but once I finish college, then what? I don't know. I hadn't thought that far. Maybe I'll think of something else. Meantime, just for tonight, what I'm going to be thinking about, you guessed it. Good night, you.